A morbid milestone. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has made Florida's death chamber the nation's busiest. He has said that too many families have waited too long to see justice. This week, the state carried out 2 executions on the same day. The first was 68-year-old James Duckett. He was convicted of raping and drowning an 11-year-old girl while working as a Florida police officer in 1987. Later in the day, 80-year-old Dominic Anthony Ochoconi died by lethal injection. He was convicted of fatally shooting his ex-girlfriend's parents in June of 1986. He was the oldest known prisoner executed in Florida. During his execution, Ochoconi did have his spiritual advisor near him. It is a powerful reminder that people facing capital punishment also need prison ministries to offer them support. Joining me now is Ernie Bono, president of the Order of Malta Federal Association, who has spent nearly a decade ministering to prisoners, including those on death row. Ernie, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, it's my pleasure. Anytime we can communicate, I think that's a positive thing.
Some people struggle to understand prison ministry, especially on death row. Why is it such an important part of the church's mission?
Well, I think that we have to establish some parameters. The first thing is the belief is that if you do the crime, you should do the time. But the second thing is it's the church's mission to bring dignity to every human being. And it really is what I would call the pro-life movement. The pro-life movement really begins at the moment of conception and ends till natural death. So anyone put to death or murdered, obviously, it's a serious and egregious kind of situation. So the church takes a strong stand on this, and I follow the prescripts of the church. I think that brings order into everyone's life.
You accompanied convicted serial killer Michael Tanzi in the final hours before his execution. What did that experience teach you about faith, mercy, and the dignity of every human person?
Well, that story becomes very interesting and given him lots of spiritual direction for 10 years. And he picked me as a spiritual director, and I had to go through the rigors of all of that. But what it really showed me was that this was a man who truly had redemption for what he had done, truly was a good Catholic man. He received, we're going to say it, the last rites, because the prison system doesn't understand the sacrament of the sick. So the last rites were given by our retired bishop. And one of the most significant things, I was taking a bishop home, he was crying and he was telling me he had never had an experience like this ever in his life. And then when I went back to see Michael, he said, "Ernie, you don't know what you did for me." And I wasn't doing anything but facilitating. And he died with dignity. He died sorrowful. He was repentant of his sins, and he had spent a good 25 years in prison. And the significant thing was he hadn't talked to his mother in 25 years, and I was able to facilitate that in the last couple of days.
Wow.
He wasn't going to eat his last meal. And then he sort of joked around with me and said, I did eat my last meal, pork chop, baked potato, salad, and ice cream. He said, "You know why I did that?" I go, "No, because that's the last time I had a meal with my mother 25 years ago." And nobody had to come to see him, except our people that do prison ministry in the Order of Malta and in the Diocese of St. Augustine.
This is such a heavy topic. How do you take care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually?
Well, I believe it's the grace of God. I am president of the Knights of Malta Federal Association, which is significant. We have 1,100 members. That's a challenge in itself. But doing the prison ministry it really invigorates me. I really see the eyes of Christ through these people. They have nothing to do all day, so they read the Bible. So they know the Bible better than I do. And they ask questions. They have comments. I've never had a confrontation in all the years that I've been there. We've had disagreements in terms of interpretations and things like that. But by and large, I'm invigorated by it. It makes me stronger, and I believe it's God's grace that allows that more than anything I would do physically for myself. I mean, I'm 80 years old, so I don't know what you can do at this juncture other than pray.
Well, it is so incredible what you have done and continue to do. Ernie Bono, thank you so much for sharing more about your compassionate work and, of course, such a unique story.
Thank you. God bless you.